that job, you can find job, in as I, for example, restaurant supervisor, a restaurant manager, or hotel management. So you have different levels, and you have, the different duration as well. All this qualification, you have a one work placement, which is included in the qualification, and is very useful because you're gonna put in practice all your knowledge and all your skill that you are learning through these courses, and you're gonna be doing in a real workplace. As Ivy said before, Sepper, our work placement coordinator, he will give you more details about that. So this is in terms of hospitality. Then we have another area, it's commercial cookery. So in commercial cookery, we have also two qualifications. We start at certificate 3, which is for 1 year, and we have certificate 4 for 1.5 years. So, you're gonna learn all the skill and knowledge, how you, get familiar with the kitchen, how you're gonna deal, prepare food, different type of food, design menus, etc. And also certificate 4 is more like a management. So you're gonna be able to learn also some skills and knowledge in terms of, management people, rostering staff, some financial concept as well. This qualification those qualification in commercial cookery also they have a work placement component which is included, but here you have 2 work placement. Okay, and then having said that, you have hospitality and commercial cookery. You can also, if you want to get both combined, both qualification combined, you have another option which is a package. So you're going to be able to combine commercial cookery with hospitality. And then you have 2 qualifications, which we call, diploma of hospitality, commercial cookery stream, which is for 2 years. And then you can also do another advanced diploma of hospitality management in commercial cookery stream. Those also include a work placement. So you can see, you have different options, different level, depending on what you are looking for. But at the end of the day, if you complete all those courses, for the higher level, of course, you're going to have more options, and you have more, different places where to apply as well. You have a wider, opportunity as well. You want to go to the next one, Ivy, please? Okay, another course that I would like, that I'm very, happy to promote and to give you this information. It's called the RSA, which stands for Provide Responsible Service of Alcohol, and the RCG, Provide Responsible Gambling of Service. Those 2 courses, for you guys who are in Australia, probably you are familiar what it is, but for those who are from offshore, from overseas, it's basically, if you are working in any place, any premises that sell or serve alcohol, you must have this licensing. Or you are working in some gaming area, also you should have this licensing as well. It's a very short courses. It's for any people, as you can see on the slide. If you're working in a club, if you're a manager, if you are service staff, if you're working with alcohol, even if you are security, you should have this license, otherwise you cannot work. Same thing if you're working in any club that provides some gaming area, you are doing the paying out, or you're going with gaming machine or registered club, you should have also, this RCG, the gaming licensing. What I'm promoting this because we are very lucky that our college, if you are doing our qualification in hospitality, you're gonna be able to do these courses, without any extra fee. So there are not many places that can offer that. So, it's very, I'm very happy, that we have those courses included in our qualification. So you don't have to be worried. You are enrolled in hospitality, you're going to be able to do those courses. Even though you are not doing our qualification, you can still get enrolled in those qualifications, as an external student. Okay. So what is the advantage, because all these courses, this course is just only for 1 day. You're going to go to the next slide, maybe, please. So the benefit, if you're doing with us, those RSA or RCG, because it's very easy, just 1 day course, is they are accredited from the government. At this stage, we are doing face-to-face or a virtual classroom. It means that you can go to the college, or you can do it, in your own computer at home, but you will always have the support, for the entire class with your trainer. We have very qualified qualified trainers. All the assessment, all the work you're gonna be doing in class, so you don't have to do any extra job outside when you finish your class. And at the end of the course, the next day you're gonna be issued with your certificate, so you can start straight away. The next day you're gonna start working and apply for a different job. So this is very exciting, you know. So if you see, at the end of the day, if you take the courses with us, you're gonna be able to do your qualification in hospitality, commercial cookery. You can do the whole package, and also you're gonna have those 2 extra courses that will give you a lot of benefits. I always tell you, all our students, you know, when you apply for a job, you know, for hospitality, they will ask you, do you know how to serve food and beverage? Do you know how to provide customer service? Do you know how to set up a table? Do you have RSA? Do you have RCG? So, you know, it's very important for all of us, you know, when you apply for a job, that you can, if you do these courses, you will be able to tick all the boxes, and you're gonna be able, you know, to have more opportunities and feel confident that you're gonna have a job secure in the future. Okay. Just to add a little bit, you know, what is the contingency, what's happened now in Australia. Probably for some of you guys, you know, you have read the news and you see, you know, on the street, wherever you go, you will see how there's a very high demand for hospitality workers. You know, I just pick it up, this little, you know, paragraph, you know, from the newspaper. So you could see, you know, from the last 2 years, how it's jumping all the job advertisement, especially even in the last February, it jumped by 20% by itself. So you could see how it's a shortage of hospitality workers. So it's a very big opportunity to enroll in our courses, because they are high demand, in a very high demand at the moment. So this is from my presentation, and now I will introduce Seper, which is our work placement coordinator. So he will give you more details about all the work placement. So thank you.
Thank you, Hernan.
No
I think it's everyone, I think you have experience when you step out from home every day, when you go and buy food, when you go in the vacations, for holiday, and the hospitality stuff. I think Hernan's job and all our team members are very important, playing the role to helping our students, to assist our students to have a very smooth journey when they're starting with us. Thanks, Hernan.
No problem.
So welcome, CBR. So CBI actually is our work placement coordinator, and he's very experienced, and he's going to tell us about the placement.
Thanks, Ivy and Hernan. So good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to all of you for your participation in this workshop. My name is Seper. I know it's very hard to pronounce. You can call me Sep, S-E-P, and I'm working as a work placement coordinator at Wells International College. Today, I'm going to briefly explain you what is work placement about in general, and also what the Wells International College will do in order to support students who complete their work placement. So work placement is mandatory part of hospitality and commercial cookery courses, and is comprising 2 components. First, theory, and second, practical. The theory is including 1 knowledge test assessment, which will be delivered by trainer in the class, but the practical part should be completed in a relevant industry area. So work placement is a very good opportunity for students to demonstrate their skills and knowledge in this industry and get more experience, and also learn more about the industry, which can help them to grow and get a better position in the future in this industry. So first, I'm going to start with hospitality work placement and then cookery work placement. Hospitality work placement. All hospitality students can work in any sectors of this industry. For example, in a hotel, they can work in housekeeping department, F&B department, front office, and any other departments. If they work in a restaurant or cafe, they either can work in front of house or back of house. According to hospitality training package, students are required to complete minimum of 200 hours within 36 shifts. Students have 1 specific term, 10 weeks, which is normally started on term 3 to complete 36 shifts with minimum of 200 hours. In case if students couldn't complete 36 shifts within 1 term, they can work during their 10 break to cover the remaining shifts, and we can support them in this manner. So, but they must submit their work placement before commencement of the new term. That is for hospitality, general information. I'll try to concisely explain about each course. And now I'm starting with Cookery. So Cookery is a bit different. The students need to work across a range of different service periods, including breakfast, lunch, dinner, and special events or function. That means students must work effectively as a cook and somehow coordinate cooking operation in a commercial kitchen. I understand it's a bit challenging to find only one place to cover all different service periods. That's why in order to support the students, WIC allow the students to work in two places, in two different places. So in order to cover different type of service periods. So students can start their work placement from a stage 2 or term 2. So in stage 1, they're going to get some basic information regarding hygiene, how to work in this industry, and so on. And from stage 2, they can demonstrate their skill and knowledge in the workplace and gain more experience. According to the commercial Cookery package, if students study only certificate 3 of commercial Cookery, they have only one work placement, and they're required to complete minimum of 200 hours within 50 shifts if they study only certificate 3. But I would say majority of the students, I would say 99% of our students are studying package of certificate 3 and certificate 4 because it's more comprehensive and it's also cost effective. So if students are studying certificate 3 and 4 or certificate 4 itself, they have 2 work placements to complete. That means they need to complete additional 200 hours within additional 40 shifts. So in total, if any students studying certificate 3 plus certificate 4, they need to cover minimum of 400 hours within 90 shifts. The good thing is, Cookery students can submit their work placement at the end of each course. It's different with hospitality. We don't give them only 1 term or 10 weeks for completing the work placement because it's a bit challenging. Maybe it's a bit, needs more time to complete. So that's why Cookery students, they can complete their first work placement, which is for certificate 3 during 3 terms, 3 stages, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. By commencement of certificate 4, they can start to do their second work placement within 2 stages, stage 5 and stage 6. I'll just give you a very simple example. If students work only 20 hours in a week, 20 hours, so they can easily complete 1 work placement in 10 weeks. 10 weeks times to 20 hours, 200 hours. 200 hours, and they can easily complete their first work placement. But in fact, they have almost 40 weeks to complete their first work placement. So that means there is no pressure on the students at all because they have plenty of time to complete their work placement. So that is all about work placement. Now, how to support the students. As a work placement coordinator, how I'm going to support the students. So we all know that the students, first of all, need to find a job. They need to find a place to work. So in order to support the students, WSC has lots of connection with restaurants, hotel, cafe across the Sydney where we can put our students in straight away. We continually welcoming our students to work with our host employer in the industry. What's the advantage of using WSC employers? Number 1, place, host employer, kitchen, menu, WHS policy and procedure all have been approved by the assessor in advance. So that means the place is completely fine for students to complete their work placement. Second, these host employers are very flexible. They understand the students, they understand their schedule, and they have a variety of positions in the workplace. Number 3, our host employers are in a different suburbs and areas, which will be offered to students based on where they live. So the students no need to travel up to go to the work. Number 4, which is very important for all of us, the pay is very good. Number 5, if students have any issue there, I will physically go to the site, go to the premises, and talk to the host employer, investigate the issue and find an optimal solution. Number 6, if students wanted to move to the new workplace for any reason, for example, they're not happy in the workplace, they found a better position, better offer, they can move at any time. And if they have done any shift in the previous workplace, we still count them and consider them for work placement, and they need no need to redo those shifts in a new place. And the last one, which is the most important one, number 7, some of these host employers can sponsor our students for PR, for granting working visa, but this all depends on the student's performance. So if they're happy with the students because of the shortage of staff in hospitality and cooking industry, they definitely sponsor our students, and they are willing to do that. At the end, during work placement, we keep supporting our students. I never ever leave any students alone. I always support them. Even our graduate students still can come back to us if they need any help in order to find a job. So in here, that's on the slides on the screen, there are some of our parties that they are willing to hire our students. And at the moment, they're looking for staff. Hyatt Regency, 5-star hotel, Boathouse Group, they have different branches across the Sydney. Campus Levin's restaurant, that's very good restaurant in a high rate. Dollar Shop is a hot pot. Bunker, another cafe and bar. Fondo and Fat Tiger, we are not limited to this host employer, but these are the host employers who are currently looking for a job. And if any student is interested to work in these places, tomorrow morning you can go for an interview. Just let me know. So it is all about work placement. We try to support the students and always be with them. Any step, if a student wants to go further, we always stay next to the student, and the students always feeling that someone is supporting them. I hope so. Thanks very much. And that's all for my side.
Thank you, Sipia. I think you can see like we're very responsible for our students. So every single students before they go for placement, they do need to approve by our coordinator, especially Sipia, when they place the students.
Yes.
So we would like to make sure the quality and the student are ready to go. So thank you. It's not a very easy job when you do the selective students to go into the different restaurants and the employer when they're looking for the staff. So let's show you some photos about our happy students. I think this is what at home you got a happy wife, easy life, right? But I think in our kitchen, it's like happy students, happy teachers, and happy chef, everyone. You can see a smiling face. So next, we would like to invite our guest speaker. So Iga Obed Madis Novel, and we can call him Obed. Obed is here. So Obed is our current student, and he actually would like to share his study with us. Hi, Obed.
Hello.
Over to you.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you everyone for joining. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share a little bit of my experience in general in Australia. And since I arrived to WIC, which have given me a lot of experience and a lot of new knowledge. I've been working in the kitchen for around 5 years, but like very basic things, and always doing the same, you know. But since I arrived to the college, and we met this great teacher that we have right now, he's been giving us little tips and little like steps to get better every day, you know, and that gives you a lot of value professionally, like, and personally, talking, that gives a lot of value to a person. And that's what we're looking for, you know. At the end of the day, we're students, and the support that we have got, and I'm talking for everyone, I think, it's massive, because as a student, it's not easy to cope with everything, you know, like to get to work, to get your work placement, to, of course, get the money to pay for the fees. Everything is a step. Everything is a little piece of things that we need to do daily, you know. And WIC have given us all the support and all the space for approach each goals, you know. I've been living here in Australia for 5 years, and I've been jumping from field to field. But since I started working in the kitchen, I'm telling you guys, it's the best experience ever. There is big amount of work here in Sydney at the moment. And I know that the person that gets to this field is gonna be successful. If you do it with love, obviously. And if you have a good tutor and a good person that trains you properly. So yeah, I really like, the best advice that I give is do everything with love. Always stay in the place of the customer. This hospitality field is based in the customer service. So what I say always is, yeah, think like if you're the customer. How would you like to have the things? How would you like to be served? And do the things with love. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Thanks,
WAC.
Albert. Maybe I can ask you some questions.
Yeah,
so
sure.
You've been here in 5 years, and how you make the decision that you would like to study in this course? And like, is it you always would like to be chef or cook or in hospitality?
Yeah, so my background, I'm Colombian. And since Colombia, I studied a little bit. So I had a couple jobs back home. And then I came here, and of course, for the thing that I tried to get better English and better experience, I got away a little bit from this field. But yeah, I started working back in the kitchen 2 years ago here in Sydney. And it's been amazing. Like, I love to cook as a hobby. And what better now that I can make money doing it, you know, doing what I like. And if you do everything, if you do what you like, it's not gonna be a job. It's just gonna be a hobby that you do every day and you get paid for.
That's so true. Well said on that. I think you got the passion and also unconditional. And when you say, like, you know, looking at yourself and putting the shoes to the customer, you know, how you've been served, that is very important, because everything is two ways. And when you are busy in the kitchen preparing the food, and of course the customer give you a very good feedback, and then they will come back again. Exactly. And then and also would like to ask, I know that you actually travel together with the chef to go to the fish market and look at a different fish with the different prices. So this is the skills that you usually have to take on when you become a chef, because you need to make the decision how you're going to prepare for the big events. So tell us about your experience during the excursion. I know you all looking happy, and then trying to find out what kind of fish and what kind of dish that you're going to prepare. Is something like a master chef or my kitchen room. I think quite stressful when you're picking which one is the right fish for the dish tonight for the events. So tell us a bit about your experience because it's part of your course, and I think your lecturer and your trainer are very generous to take you all to share this experience. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So all the experience were big for us. It's really good for us to know all these kind of things and know about the providers, because at the end of the day, like, the experience of knowing which fish, how it looks, how is the price, how should be the quality, how are the average prices that we can get those like fish for. It's gonna help us as well in the professional field, you know, and to learn about providers, to learn about what can we make with each different kind of fish. It's really nice, you know. It expands your mind and expands the way of you looking at all and every single ingredient. Yeah, of course, like, teacher card's been really nice with everyone, teaching like every single aspect, small aspect in the kitchen, and giving small tips and small advice to make every day, like, yeah, better.
Thank you. Like the small things become the big things.
Yeah, exactly. So, that gives value, and that gives everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Albert, for sharing. I think
No worries.
we can hear the real story from you as a student. I think our agents will actually hear the real story from you. And thank you for your time today. And then
Thank
wish you a
you.
great
Thank you very much.
success in your future, in your career. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
So next is our head teacher, which is also our important chef, Carl Shi. And Carl's actually have extensive background in hospitality and chef, not only here in Australia, but in overseas as well. And he got a lot of awards, and we're going to show you very shortly. And then I will let Carl to introduce himself, and then we will share from the slides. Thank you, Carl. Over to you.
Thank you, Ivy. Thanks, Albert. Say something nice about me. Hello, everyone. My name is Carl. So I'm the head teacher of the commercial cookery department. Yeah, like Ivy said, I have a certain background, came from different countries. I've been traveled quite a lot. Used to work in one of the best hotel in the world in Dubai. And also I was the national culinary team captain of Emirates. So we did a lot of international level chefs competitions. And then I also was I was the guest head chef for the second Youth Olympic Games in 2014, back to China, Nanjing. So also, I was leading my team from the hotel. We did a lot of international competitions. So we brought a lot of gold, silver, quite a lot of medals. And now I'm in the teaching sector. As you can see that from the Wales International College that we have, is not only we can offer, like Albert said, we are not only teaching from the textbook, but I think the most important from my personal perspective is we are also trying to equip our students, let them to understand the business. Because the food industries, even yes, end of the day, we are chefs. But I hope that maybe after 10 years later or 20 years later, you can become a restaurant owner by yourself. So that's why we are not only try to teach our students how to cook the dish, how to have the understanding of the knowledge, have the skills, but also we try to equip with them with the business savvies. So, like Albert mentioned, we take the student to the market because we want them to know the suppliers, to know the seasonalities of ingredients, to know the price of ingredients, to work out what is the best ingredients suitable for the best season. So all of these little attention to details, end of the day, will collect together, and it's just like we play the jigsaws. We put our students into the best position when we compete. Because we are not only one culinary school in Australia, so we are trying to compete with Le Cordon Bleu, to be honest. But however, Le Cordon Bleu maybe is 6 times more expensive than us, and we are able to deliver the same quality level of the skills, same quality, same level of the knowledge. And I think it's most important for our students who come to Australia, because all our teacher, our management team, there's one thing that we share in common, that we have empathies, and also we have sympathies to the students. We know how much stress, I can imagine that 25 years ago when I went to England by myself, get out from airports, I know nobody, I have no one to talk to, and I need to find my place to live. I need to find a job. And then at the same time, I need to go to study, and I need to worry about my fees. So, there's a lot of pressures coming out to the student, and we understand that. And as a family of the Wales International College, we want to deliver a very clear message that we look after our students, okay? And we're not only giving you, to share your knowledge to you, but also we're trying to be a friend of you. So even now, today, we have graduates, the student asked me, hey, Carl, where I can buy this, where I can get this, chef, where I can order these ingredients. The time to time, they text me, they call me, and I still provide them. We have a personal touch, because I believe that end of the day, you are our students, but you're also part of our Wales International College family. And I want to make sure that students is happy under my watch. I want the student to have this fun study, because kitchen is not the place that you think is so crucial. You're gonna work in long hours. is not like what we expected. Sometimes people say, our kitchen is very harsh. Yes, it's harsh, depends on how you look at it. Like Obed mentioned, if you can see that it's kind of, you can have fun, you can have good time out of it, why not? And you can make money at the same time. So we are able to provide, we call this a friendly study environment. And as you can see that for the Australian, we have a great shortage for the cooks and chefs. Okay, and let me just share you something from my average student. Like everyone in my class, everyone has a job working in different sectors in the restaurant, cafes, Thai restaurant, Japanese restaurant, sushi bars. The average salary they are getting is in between 26 Australian dollars to 35 Australian dollars per hour. So you can work out how much is in currency in your country. And you need to understand that we are here to support you. Like Safir, what Safir does is try to provide job opportunities. And every week we are updating the information to our students to tell them, okay, we have the Hayat, they are looking for a pastry chef. The codes they are looking for the bakers. So this kind of information we'll provide to our students, try to help them, to support them find a job and to working with a better pay, with better working conditions. And of course, since Australia is one of the markets, is one of the country that come to the aging stage, a lot of elderly people. So the hospital and aged care sector, we call this a health sector, is actually have a huge demand for the chefs. Is not only, we normally we don't call them chefs, we call them health support worker. So they are under the awards of hospitality awards in Australia. So this is one of the highest paid sector for our students who can find a job working in the hospital, working in the aged care, we call it health sectors. So end of the day, like I mentioned, to get a summary is like we try to give the students ability to have a better and a competitive advantage when they graduate from our college. And then we hope that they have all this knowledge and ideas and skills that can be equipped and can be support them for their future careers. Maybe they're gonna working keeping in the industries. Maybe they want to become the independent owner. And also there's another benefit that if you choose, the hospitality and the commercial cookery study at this stage, is that a lot of restaurants, remote area, the government provides, we call this a graduation visa after you've done the hospitality diploma of management course. And also the remote area have a lot of government sponsored permanent residence. So you are able to settle down, bring your family over here. I think that's really important. And that is one of the major attractive points to bring the students. And interestingly is, in our college, we have a lot of coming out from a higher education sector students who already had the master's degree. They come back to learn the commercial cookery because they know that commercial cookery can offer them a permanent residence in future, okay, in a later stage. And from last 8 to 10 years, Australian government did not change the policies. So always commercial cookery is always on the list, on the job list as a cook is always on the job list for the immigration, like a permanent residence offering program. So that is basically everything that I want to share with you guys. And for the visa, you can speak to your agent, but however, students after they finish the study, come to the certain stage of the study, they are able to apply for graduation visa, which can be extended to the 2 years. And also I noticed that the recent government changing the policies that the students of any working in the hospitality sector is unlimited hours. So that means after 2 days of study, you're able to working as a full-timers and you're able to make good money out of it. So that's pretty much is from me. Yes, Ivy.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
Anyone have any questions? Feel free to ask. You can unmute yourself on the chat room, or you can type on the chat room, or unmute yourself to ask any questions. Maybe I can start with the questions, maybe to the chef. So what is the difference between cook and a chef?
Well, the cook is is that a type of position, is a type of profession that who has the basic fundamental hygiene and practice skills that fulfill the job work in the kitchen. But for the chef, that means it's more come to the senior level. It can be a little bit higher than the, not say a little bit, it can be much higher than the position from the cooks. So cooks normally refer to the junior staff, and the chefs refer to the senior staff in the kitchen. So the pay is different. The job responsibilities and role are different. So this is the major difference. And of course, your income are different.
Yes, I can tell actually. So I just quickly show everyone about this. So Indeed is actually similar to the Seek.com. So yeah, when you look at this, as Carl did mention, a lot of people have a shortage of the staff, even though the one here in the metropolitan in Darlinghurst, and you can see the pay. This is for the chef. So this is in Refn. You can see their pay is actually higher than the cook. So chef, I think everyone maybe know Hoja actually having about 3 stores here in Sydney.
Okay. Can't see it.
You can see it?
No, we cannot. We only see that PowerPoint.
Okay, let me stop the share. So can everyone see?
Mm-hmm.
So this is it from Indeed.com. So it's the same as the Seek.com. As you can see, when people are looking for jobs, and this is all they can see, where's the location, is it part-time or full-time, and the pay. So some of the regional area actually having a salary as 120,000 or more. So the opportunity is everywhere, and I think everyone knows it's a shortage in our industry at the moment. And also, as Albert and Carl said, like, you know, you present your food from love, so you actually give people the happiness after you present your food, and people actually enjoyed it, and then they will come back. So I think everyone may be experienced as well when the chef actually change a job to other restaurant, and then the customer usually moving together as well. So you can see all this job actually in the city, in here in the Sydney area. So the pay is actually very high as like the professional career pay. So I just go back to my slide. So our last speaker will be our guest speaker from Hyatt Regency, and Nitin Kumar. So let me share my screen. So our next guest speaker is Nitin Kumar. So Nitin actually himself is a chef, and he very experienced not only in Australia, but also from overseas. And he has a very busy schedule, and thanks for him to joining us today. And he's now the food and beverage director here in Hyatt Regency, Sydney. And we just have a look.
Yeah. Nitin just needed 1 minute. He's walking back to the office now.
No problem.
Yeah.
So is anyone have any questions? Feel free to ask. I can actually go to the program again to actually show everyone this is our program.
Does anyone have any questions? Do you have any questions regarding the the life in Australia? Well, now you know what. Recently we have the Vivid. Vivid is happening. So there's all the live shows, and you can see from the social media, you can see from Facebook, and this kind of activities in Australia is happening every year. It's quite interesting for everyone to, for the first time to come to Australia.
I think Santos have the questions. Santos, you raise your hand. It's okay. So Carl, over to you, sorry.
Oh yeah, that's all right. We are actually every term, we organize our different class students. We go for the different area for excursion. Like this term, we organize our student, we arrange the trip. For some of the class, we went to fish market, and some of the class, we went to the meat emporium. Unfortunately, I cannot share some of the photos because it's not with me at in this computer. Also, we took our students to the different, to the different restaurants, to take them to the hotel. We took our student to the Zabakli and also the different, the bread maker. And we already have a plan for the next incoming term. We're gonna take our student to the Hyatt Hotel and also to the PFD, one of the biggest Australian food distributor in Australia. We want to see their warehouse and to check the facilities over there, because I think that's most important, that the students need to know how to see how this related business, how this related operations, that's how they're supporting our work. Because as a chef, we order food for the restaurant, but where they're coming from and how this food is being packed, how this food is being dispatched to their trucks. So this is actually very interesting, all this logistics and how they're going to manage, the food safeties, how they're going to monitor the temperature control, monitor the food safeties. So there's a lot of like a health and hygiene assurance inside.
We have a question from Santosa Jaya. And what is the difference between the diploma hospitality management and diploma in management?
That's a very good question, Santosh. So the diploma hospitality management, basically coming from our end, is one of the specific study sector regarding the hospitalities, regarding it's related to the hospitality, is related to the culinary management. They are more focusing on the managing the operations within the hospitality scope. But diploma in management is actually management in general. Just give you a general brief idea. Okay, management, like, okay, how to solve the problems, how to deal with the people. But we are in our courses, for example, we also have a similar, but it's more specific, more targeted to what we are teaching, to our industries. We have very similar, like how to solve the problem, how to deal with the customers, okay, how to retain the customers, okay, how to provide the customer satisfactions, and how to lead a team. But lead a team is under the hospitality industries. So we are more targeted, we're more focused that in the hospitality sector, in the hospitality industry. I hope that can answer your question.
For my understanding, as a business background student, hospitality actually to do more, like to look after you, how to look after in a hotel, in the front end of the cafe. And for management, as Carl said, like it's more very general. You can actually become a management to any fields, but hospitality is very more in the hospitality, like when you go for hotel,
Is the meeting here now?
Yes. So let me stop sharing.
Hello.
Thank you. Thanks, Nitin.
How are you?
Good. Thank you. It is a pleasure and also great to have you in our session today. So today we have agents and prospective students in these Zoom sessions. And thank you for your time in your busy schedule. And over to you, Nitin.
No problem.
Do you need to share screen or?
No, I should be fine. Can you see me?
No.
I was just trying to see why. So, because no. Yeah. Maybe a connection. But can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay. Oh, I can start. I think there's maybe just because of internet.
Do you want to log off and log in again? Sometimes it's happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it for phone. Should be fine, right?
Yes, you just need to log off and then log in again. Yeah, now we can see you.
And you can hear me as well, right?
Yes. but we can't see you now. It's like quite blank.
You can't see me. You want me to log off and log in again?
Yeah, you can. You can log off and log in again.
Okay, let me try quickly.
So Nitin actually is the director of food and beverage at Higher Regency, and he's not only have the experience here in Australia. I mentioned before that he also worked in the Park Hyatt in Canberra for 9 years, and he also be an executive chef for a long time in a different country. So from Queensland and then from Auckland, New Zealand, and he also worked as a chef in the Marriott Hotel for Mumbai in India. So Nitin have extensive experience in the back end, which is become a chef, and now in the front, which is a food and beverage. So he actually know the whole business from the business perspective as a chef perspective, and also the front end from the hotel. So himself actually graduated from a Bachelor of Commerce from Delhi University, and he also studied in the Institute of Hotel Management back in Mumbai, and then come here. So I think you can see from the chef, from Carl, from Nitin, when they become a chef and they study, they actually travel around, and then they work in different countries, have a different experience. It's very important for our students actually have discover experience and also the knowledge from our trainer. And Carl didn't mention before, Carl actually, our chef, also owned the restaurant before. That's why he would like our students to have the practical skills and knowledge from the ground level. That means one day you not only work with someone, but I think most of the students with Carl always have a big ambitious. They want to work with someone, work in a hotel, either work in the cafe, but one day when they have all this information, they would like to open their own restaurant. So if you don't know how to negotiate the fish price and which fish, you just ask someone to help you, then people maybe put up the price. But if you're dealing with the direct suppliers, so you actually know who is the right supplier that you're going to get your grocery and your stock. So that's why Carl have a very ground information, and then he also would like the students to have the same, so to pursue their career for the long term. So is Nitin back here?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Good. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
So as I just explained, yes, I started my hotel career like you all. I went for the hotel school entrance exam, passed. After that, I qualified, had my interview, and then I went to the hotel school, and I did 3 years diploma in the beginning of hotel management from Mumbai. And I think that was a learning curve when we go to hotel school, because that's where you learn all the skills and you learn the right 4 core subjects, which is your front office, housekeeping, also the food and beverage, and a chef. I think that's the key in this first 3 years for you to decide what do you like, what do you want to do, and follow your heart and follow your passion. And that's the key, because that's what take you a long way. And it's 1 year, second year, third year, when you go for your industrial exposure. That's where I was before. Then I thought that I will be more interested in a culinary side of it, and I went for some of the chef cooking competition while I was a hotel management student, and I liked the more exposure in my industrial training to work in 5 different kitchens, from Japanese to continental to Asian as well as Indian. I find that's something which excites me, and I've took as a career. And then from there, I wanted to be a chef, but I couldn't find the right job in the kitchen. So I have to go overseas, and that was my first job in Dubai, in Royal Mirage, Jumeirah Beach. I did the openings, did the opening over there for the Italian restaurant, came back in India, opened Grand Hyatt Delhi, Bricks was the European restaurant, and then I have moved to JW Marriott for a while, an Italian restaurant opening, and then I moved to another hotel for back with Hyatt Regency Mumbai, where I worked in a live seafood restaurant. So that was my journey in the first half, where I worked in 4 pre-opening hotels, and I learned a lot. And also I traveled a lot. So working in a hospitality gave us an opportunity to work and meet and learn different skills and be confident, and also move and travel. But if you take your career seriously as well, and if I'll say there's 2 things which I have taken in my journey was, along with my passion, a commitment. Because everybody starts, but there's no point not follow your passion all the way through. And if you don't have a commitment, then you would not follow all the way the journey. So as a chef, I wanted to be a chef who also can travel around the world and work with the company and not lose the credential and keep moving further. And that's why I've worked in a few different chains, and I moved from India to New Zealand as a Hyatt Regency Auckland as a head chef. And there's where I worked my 3 or 4 years in New Zealand, learned a different culture, different cuisine, and worked in a proper Western environment, having a lot of producers. I get a very good exposure. And then, from there, I've been executive chef and then moved to Australia. Can you hear me?
Yes, thanks, Nitin, for sharing that. Can I ask you something, like how you start your journey? Did you actually tell your parents that you would like to become a chef? And what is the reactions from the parents?
It's not parents who decide what you want to be. Obviously, parents wanted you to do different thing, but I think once you go to you decide or incline your interest. So I knew some people who did the hotel school. So yes, I did the entrance exam and I got an exposure to hotel management school. But then from there is who you decide what do you like. So that means you need to make sure that you study a hotel. I know a lot of time is hotel management comes like a holiday management, but that's wrong, because if you're going to be not utilizing this 3 years, it's not going to be define your which direction you want to go. So I attend all the food production, pastry, patisserie classes, and more than theory, I like the practical, and that makes my interest towards the food production to join as chef.
Thank you, Nitin. I think now in the food and beverage director, I hope that everything that you learned today, you are here in the front end, you have a very different experience. I think your staff will be very appreciated to learn from you as well, based on your past experience.
Yeah. I think I was executive chef. I got an opportunity because once you are a chef, you're already organized. You have all the skills to do a high production. You have handle people's skills. You have skills to cost management, and you have yourself like entrepreneur. And that's where I identify that I can be in front of a house and I can also take the lead being in a service industry. So I got an exposure. I've been asked to look after both departments, executive chef and director of food and beverage role.
It's a big role.
Yeah, it was a big role, and it brings the expertise of knowing about the kitchen and knowing the back of the house really well. It helps a lot for me to plan and train my team and come across more and share more experience with my team. And that's flow in your creativity, come up with the different ideas, food and beverage concepts, also cost management system, because chefs usually quite good. They like to have your payroll costs online. They like to have their beverage cost online. The food cost online. and sort of strength once you have. Being in a service in the front is all about looking after the customer. But then if you have all these extra skills, that helps you to grow further. Yeah. And you, if not like you start from front office, you will end up in a food and beverage, or you are a chef, or I end up in a food and beverage, and then I'll end up as a next path will be for me to go as a hotel manager or a general manager. So it's move. You be accounts. They like account system. Even they started as a chef. They go to the purchasing department. They go in the marketing department. There's a lot of avenues in. There's a lot of sub departments, supporting departments that you have exposure to go and work for them.
Thank you. Thanks, Nitin, for your time in your busy schedule. I think we learn a lot from you. Travel along, and then your work experience from the ground, and now you are in a very different positions. I'm sure, I think it's the student maybe will be motivate them to be achieved. So how long is your journey since from study to now today for your career journey in this industry?
In my age, it's like in my age group, if you become executive chef between 10 years and F&B director like 10 to 12 years, that's what it takes. I have worked along now 20 years within the company as an overall my food and beverage and chef experience. But I think the DNA has changed, exposure has changed with the technology and having resources and full globalism. And the new generation can achieve all these goals within 5 to 6 years. They don't have to be wait for 15 years. What is important, that dedication and, like I said, a commitment. You have a commitment that you have to learn. You can learn the same thing in 4 years, or you can learn the same thing in 1 year, but you make sure that your focus is there in a year. You can learn the cuisine, you can learn the methods, you learn the basics. But learn the basics first, then you can change. Like all the cuisines, new cuisines, molecular cuisine, nothing. This is a new creation, but the fundamental of cooking never will change, or fundamental of service will never change. Different technology there will become an automation of a lot of systems and procedures, but you can't do it unless until you know the basics.
Yes.
Basics will never change.
Yes. Right. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for your time. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and anytime students, you can reach out if you want to ask, or you want to be a mentor, looking for a mentor. I'm happy to mentor any of you, or you want to share anything. If you're confused something, please reach out to me and I'm happy to help.
Thank you. And thanks, Carl, as well, to have this connection and we have this opportunity.
Thanks, Nitin.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We come to the end of our session. So if you have, I can see some questions in the Q&A box. This is our social media. And so if you can follow us on our Facebook, our Instagram, our LinkedIn, and also the recording after this event, I will going to share the recording to everyone. And I will go to the questions. So our next intake is on the 4th of July, so very soon. And also, if you can scan the QR code, you're able to see the program details, and you can just scan from your phone. So I have a first question. So Carl already answered the question. So for the commercial cookery courses, how many hours the comparison of the theoretical and practical kitchen lesson in the
I made a small mistake. For this Cert 4, it has 6 terms, but 10 weeks per term, not 20. Okay, my typo. Sorry for that.
So practical hours total would be 3 terms. Each term have 10 weeks and 7 hours per week of working in the kitchen. And the Cert 3 commercial cookery is 4 terms. Each term is 10 weeks, but it's a 10-hour study time per week, as Carl say.
Sorry, so this is 20 hours of study time per week. So totally it's 800 hours, and you need a minus of 184 hours of a kitchen practical class. So that means you are having only 616 hours of Cert 3 theory study. And a Cert 4 has 6 terms, but 10 weeks per term. So there's one mistake happening in the Cert 4. Okay, and still 20 hours per week. And altogether it's 1,200 hours of study, including 184 hours of kitchen practical classes. Yeah.
So correction. So thank you. So thanks everyone for your time today. And then we call it the end of the sessions. And if you, I will send you if you register to be joining the Zoom earlier. But if no, then feel free to ask one of our staff for the recording if you need a copy. Thanks everyone. Stay safe and stay well. And then see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
Thank you.